Welcome to Snooker Places. I'm outside Bar 8 here in Rugby. I'm here to meet Chris Wakelin, one of the sport's most resilient characters. We're going to chat through his career, his highs, his lows, and of course his terrific season that culminated in that run to the quarter-final of the World Championship. Now, during that tournament, he also played a yellow into the middle, which Stephen Hendry called one of the best shots he'd ever seen at the Crucible. So we'll try and recreate that shot with Chris. And of course, we'll end this episode with a black ball finish. So let's take a look inside. He looks a bit familiar behind the bar, but it's up 2 flights of stairs to this gorgeous looking snooker room with 7 tables. But we've come to meet this man in his private practice room. We'll get him all set up and we'll get into the interview. Okay, so here we are in Bar 8 in Rugby, and I've come to meet Chris Wakelin. Chris, how are you?
Good to see you, Greg.
Good to see you. Really appreciate you taking the time here and showing us around. Well, this is your personal snooker room here at Bar 8, isn't it?
No, it's a fantastic facility. You know, I'm very lucky here at Bar 8 that I've got this private room and I can come in here whenever I please and get my head down and work on my game. So yeah, I'm a very lucky boy.
Nice. And talk me through some of the memorabilia on the wall, because it's fantastic. There's some of your shootout win over there. There's some brilliant signed, by the looks of it, football jerseys. So have you had much input over that?
The vast majority of the memorabilia in here is owned by the owner of the club.
Yeah.
But I've put a few of my own little touches in here now to sort of personalise it a little bit. And you know, it's really important with this sort of space to sort of make it your own and feel comfortable in here, because we do spend a lot of time. You know, we can be in here for 4, 5, 6 hours a day at sometimes. Yeah. So it's good to have that nice bit of space that you can come away and get your head down. Of
course it is. Now, talking about nice little touches, you've got your very own start over in here. So how the hell did you get this in the room?
Well, we're on the 2nd floor here at Bar 8. And you know, these star tables weigh about the same as a car. So yeah, getting it up the stairs was an absolute mission. I had 10 very strong friends come along and help us get it up here. And yeah, it was no mean feat, but it was all worth it.
Nice. Now, you were telling me earlier that you've been back here, what, about 3 years? So just take me back briefly. This channel's called Snooker Places. Where was your first snooker place?
So when I was a kid growing up in Rugby, I played at a place called the Billiard Club, as a lot of towns had back in the 80s and 90s. It was above a Burton's.
Yeah.
So they used to have the shop on the ground floor, used to have a storeroom in the middle, they'd have a snooker room up at the top, or a snooker club.
Sure.
And that's where I first learned to play. Moved over to Nuneaton for 10 years, played from the ATAC, had a brilliant setup there, but moved back to Rugby to be close to my family. I've been back here 3 years now, and you know, I came to the club 3 years ago and said to Jamie, I'd love to come and play from your club and move back to Rugby, and he was welcomed me with open arms, and I've been very happy ever since.
All right, well, let's have a little chat about your snooker journey, because it's been a fascinating one from an onlooker's perspective. I mean, how would you summarise those kind of early years? You know, quite challenging years, had to show a lot of resilience, I guess.
Well, my first year on tour, as much as it was, you know, a privilege to be there,
yeah,
I earned, I think, $7,000 that year and spent 12 on expenses.
Yeah.
So making a $5,000 loss in the first year, it kind of,
yeah.
And I then didn't play too badly either. But obviously, you know, the next sort of 7 or 8 years after that were, I was probably in that journeyman category, because I was sort of hovering around the 50, 60 mark in the rankings, which is difficult to break away from, because that's where you always feel like you're in danger. But winning the Snooker Shoot Out in 2023 just sort of gave me that lift away from that danger zone in the rankings, and I feel like now I'm on a good trajectory.
Yeah. So winning a tournament like that, is it because it gives you the extra confidence, or it just gives you that little bit of a buffer where you think, okay, I've got a bit of time now to improve my game and concentrate on the tournaments coming up?
I think the buffer's the right word. You know, you've got a little bit of financial relief as well. Obviously, it was, you know, £50,000 to the winner, which is, you know, with the day I turned professional, I had £5 to my name, which I spent on a McDonald's on the way home, and I couldn't afford a milkshake, so I had to get a Coke. So to think that, you know, that sort of money is available now, I think that's been the catalyst for the last couple of years, is that financial freedom that's come from that one win.
Yeah, and just one question, a further question on those early days. What's it like? Because obviously snooker is an international sport, so if you're flying out to the likes of China, say, for a tournament and, you know, losing in the first or second round, How demoralising is that, and how do you bounce back from those kind of experiences?
It's difficult. You're traveling around the world to play and win.
Yeah.
If you're turning up in Shanghai and losing in the first round, you've got a 15-hour flight and then a 15-hour flight home as well. It's quite demoralising. It's difficult then to pick yourself up off the floor and come back in here every day and put the work in. But I think 2 years ago, people would have looked at me as a player that's never going to achieve what I've already managed to do in the last couple of years. But I feel like now, because of getting through those tough times and, I say, dragging myself up here every day, I'm starting to see the rewards.
Yeah. Was there one particular turning point? I know you've mentioned winning the shootout, but just in terms of your game in general, was there one point where you thought, actually, I'm not going to be that journeyman you mentioned. I'm going to, reach top 16?
Getting to the final in Belfast was, a massive moment for me, because that was my first proper ranking event final, if you like. Obviously, I lost to Judd again, because that's what happens when Judd and I play each other. He beats me, he takes the money, and I have to go home and wonder why I can't beat him.
Yeah.
But that was a big moment for me. And a poignant question that was asked to me recently was, who's your most difficult opponent ever?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not who you think it might be. I always think it's myself.
Yeah.
Because in the times when I've struggled, I've lost to myself. I've been the reason that I've lost matches. It's not necessarily because people have played out of their skin, but I've lost confidence or belief and ended up losing. So I think that for me has been one of the biggest challenges, and one of the things that I've learned most about myself is that actually, if I can stay in control of my own thoughts and emotions, that I think I'm pretty unstoppable.
We've had a bit of a chat on the channel, actually, about whether snooker is, from a psychological perspective, the most demanding of all sports, so, all individual sports. If you compare it to maybe golf and tennis, I guess, might be similar in terms of the pressure. But do you think snooker is that, because when you're in the chair, there's nothing you can do about it, is there?
It's very easy to sit there and think, oh, this is a really tough thing to do, but you do get a little break. Like, you get to sit in the corner, you're not,
You can switch off in those moments, can you? Because some players can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of see it as a little bit of a break and relief and sort of reset and making sure you're ready to go again.
Yeah.
For someone, who plays tennis, for example, you don't get the chance to mull over what's just happened. You've got a 120 mile an hour serve coming at you. So you've got to be prepared. So, it's difficult. It's a difficult game. And to play at the highest level, it's you've got to be really on it. But I think realistically, in terms of, life could be a lot worse. It's a pleasure to play this sport, and I feel very privileged to do so.
Okay, well, let's finish up with some career highs, because obviously you've gone through a few already with the shootouts. But what about this season? Because, I guess the standout performance was that run at the Worlds. But let's just assess your season as a whole, first of all. How did it go, and how did you manage to, really start winning a lot of games, let's face it?
I lost my first qualifier of this season, and instantly then you start thinking, oh, is this going to be a totally different season from the last one, which obviously was by far the greatest one of my career so far. But you have to just be resilient. Things didn't necessarily go to plan in the early part of last season, but got through to the final in Nanjing. That got me into the UK Championships. A little run there got me into the Masters. Had a tough few months then when our daughter was born. Obviously, life changed dramatically there.
How is she now?
She's doing really well, yeah. She was 6 months last week.
Wow, brilliant.
She's doing incredible. Obviously anyone who's ever become a parent knows how life-changing it is. Once things started to settle down at home with her, we had a good run at the World Championships, got through to the quarterfinals, and I feel like this is just the start of the next phase of my career.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Well, let's just focus on the Worlds in particular. So when you entered the tournament, did you think, what was your target at the start of that tournament?
I didn't qualify the last 2 years, which was disappointing, despite the fact that I'd had 2 really good seasons. To not finish the season at the Crucible, a lot of players say that's kind of a disappointing way to finish. So, once I qualified, and in the manner that I did, I played really well in those qualifying matches. I genuinely believed and said in the post-match interview with Rob Walker, I said, someone's going to have to play bloody well to beat me.
Yeah.
And that was genuinely how I felt. And to back that up at the Crucible, you know, with 2 really good wins over Neil Robertson and Mark Allen, it proved to myself that not only have I got confidence now, but I actually do believe in what I'm saying as well.
I guess nobody wants a hard draw, do they, at the start? But maybe that's to your advantage now. Now you certainly didn't have an easy draw. So to overcome players of the caliber of Neil and Mark Allen, must give you loads of confidence. I just wonder, having reached the quarterfinal, obviously you're only one step away then from the one table setup. Does that give you motivation for future years?
Of course. I felt, I think Xintong as well, we had a bit of a chat afterwards, and we both felt that quarter-final match was a final for both of us, because I think once you get down to the one table setup, obviously I've never been there myself, but I think it would then feel like a totally new tournament, because you've gone from being really cramped with 2 tables and noise from the other side of the auditorium to all of a sudden then it's all on you. All eyes are on you, and it's the biggest prize in our sport.
Wow. Okay. Well, one standout shot in that tournament was the yellow that Stephen Hendry caught. One of the best shots he's ever seen at the Crucible, which is high praise indeed. And that was in the second round match against Mark Allen, is that right?
It was, yeah.
Okay. So maybe in a few minutes we'll have a go at recreating that shot. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was a strange situation, because I'd potted a really difficult brown from under the cushion and then a difficult green from under the cushion into the same pocket. And anyway, the next frame I ended up with, I had a quick look at the yellow when I first looked at the shot, and I thought, oh, that doesn't look very appealing. But the balls were everywhere, and there wasn't a guaranteed safe place on the table. So, I'm really confident at potting balls into the middle pockets. It's something that I practice a lot.
Okay.
And I'd sort of surmised that actually, in my eyes, it was the right shot, and I actually fancied potting the yellow more than playing safe. And I mean, on TV, it doesn't look that difficult from the black end of the table.
Yeah.
But as I'm sure you can show people in a minute, on these star tables, when you look at the tight angle into the middle pocket for that yellow, it is a very, very daunting shot. And as I got down for it the first time, I thought,
zero margin.
Doesn't look very appealing. But I mean, I know that Stephen mentioned in commentary about the Zhao Xintong match against Luca Brissell that sort of took one too many balls on, and it did run through my mind before I played it, but I'd made peace with the fact that was the right shot for me, and for it to go in, and I didn't expect as much praise as I got, it was a cool moment to hear that Steve Davis and Hendry were really, really proud of it.
All right, well, we'll set that shot up in a minute, but I just want to say thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on your career so far. Best of luck the new season, and great to hear that your daughter's doing well.
Thanks, pleasure.
Nice one.
So I was 9-2 up.
Yeah.
And just tried to split the reds open and ended up in this bizarre situation whereby there's not really an easy safety shot. So there's no way that I can guarantee to get the wide that I don't leave a pot available. So in the end, I decided that this yellow to the middle pocket was the right shot.
Got to go. Let's see it.
It was, I got down for it the first time and thought, oh my word.
I mean, you're just kind of aiming for the lip of the pocket on the far edge and hoping that it drops.
Oh, unbelievable. First time. Superb. Look at that.
That actually was first time.
It was actually first time, yeah. No camera play there. So let's start with your snooker hero growing up.
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams. Okay.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of playing him a few times.
Yeah. So what's it like playing against him now, knowing he was your hero when you were growing up?
I beat him for the first time in Nanjing, and I think it was the last 16. And it was a magic moment, because that was my earliest snooker memory. Was I came home from school one day, and it was on the telly. He was making a maximum break at the Crucible. I didn't realise it had happened about 3 hours before, but Dad had recorded it and then put it on when I walked in, so I could watch it as if it was live. So that was, it was cool to finally beat him.
Yeah. What about your favourite snooker venue of all the ones you've played at?
Oh, the ones that we win at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think Belfast, the Waterfront Hall.
Okay.
That is just something else. It's such a spectacle, and obviously most audiences it's quite linear how the crowd goes. But in Belfast, there's sort of puddles of crowds that go up throughout the auditorium. And just to look up into that crowd when you're playing there, it's a really special place.
What about the best atmosphere at a venue?
The Masters, without a doubt. Yeah, obviously making my debut there this year was a really big moment for me. And to walk out in front of 2,500 people. But to lose in the way that I did to Luca was disappointing. But what a moment.
Yeah. The most memorable match you've played in?
I think it was the semi-final in Nanjing against Zhao Xintong.
Okay.
I think I was 8-5 in front. Needed one more frame to get to the final. Yeah, it was by far my biggest ever payday.
Yeah.
But it was to get into the top 16 as well and guarantee my place at the UK Championships in York. And 8-all came. That feeling of dread. I think he got in first as well, but my chance came and I managed to make a frame-winning break. And afterwards, I just broke down in tears.
Yeah, I bet.
I was inconsolable for about half an hour. And World Snooker kept saying, "Can we do this interview now?" Just
give me five.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's just that was a cool moment. Really big moment.
Your worst moment?
Do we have to talk about that?
Just quickly.
There was quite a lot. Yeah. From the early days, there was a lot of bad times.
Was there one where you thought, look, I'm close to giving it all up?
No, never.
No?
No. I mean, I lost 10-9 to Judd, obviously, at the World Championships in 2018. That was a difficult one to take. I think some of the worst matches, and a lot of pros will be able to vouch for this, is when you're hovering around that sort of 64 mark in the rankings and you need to win to stay on tour.
Yeah.
That becomes life.
Yeah.
That's your career in front of you. So, I've been very fortunate and I've not actually fallen off tour since I got on 12 years ago. But they're really tough matches in the World Championships, especially when there's, your career's on the line.
Funniest or most surprising moment in snooker? Can you think of any? Either at a tournament or in practice or?
I was practicing with Joe O'Connor a few years ago, and he had me in a tough snooker.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get out of it. And eventually I'd missed it again.
Yeah.
So that I needed snookers. And I just hit the white ball as hard as I could. And it bounced off the side cushion, leapt in the air and came across and hit me straight in the bollocks. Literally, they went straight up in the air, hit me straight. So I'm literally lying on the floor, crying in absolute tears. And Joe was rolling around on the floor as well. It wasn't... It happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I bet.
Gone from having a good practice together. Next thing you know, I've been hitting the balls with a cue.
Relaxed, yeah.
Strange one.
That is a strange one, yeah. If you could play one match again from your entire career, which one would it be?
I'd love to play that match again against Xintong at the Crucible only a few months ago, because that was the only match in the tournament that I think he was really beatable. Yeah. But I was just so totally exhausted.
Yeah.
So
it's more exhaustion than nerves, would you say? Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't nervous at all.
Right.
I was ready to relish the opportunity, but I went to the interval at 8-4 and I said to my friends that were there, I said, I am just knackered. I never felt so mentally exhausted, and I ended up losing 13-5, and I didn't realise how knackered I was until I got home, and my body just totally shut down for 2 days. I couldn't stand up.
Crazy.
I couldn't really talk. It was really, really strange. I think it was just that stress relief after the tournament was over.
Yeah. And finally, the best advice you've ever received in snooker? Did you have a mentor when you were starting out in the game?
I had a coach for a good 25 years. Gary Morris, who sadly passed away. Anyone who's sort of close with snooker will probably recognise his name. And he was a big, big figure in my life for a long, long time. And he used to say to me, just stick in there.
Stick in there. Yeah.
Stick in there. You'll be all right.
Yeah. So what do you got here? You've got 3 cues here. So where do you get these from?
So these are all Turn Maximus cues from Thailand. Yeah. The one in the centre is a cue that I play with today. Yeah. The one on the left here is my pull cue. Okay. So I've had that made an inch shorter, but this here is a replica of mine again made by Tom Maximus, in case anything goes wrong with my cue. So as you can see, it's exactly the same all the way around, same weight, same balance point. So if anything was to happen with my cue, I need to have a little bit of a backup, hopefully, to turn to. Yeah, beautiful bit of wood. Always play with maple.
Yeah. Well, we like to finish every episode of Snooker Places with a black ball finish, a respot. So, against my better judgment, I might take you on. What do you say to that? And if so, I was going to say, I'll get a full cue. Thank you very much.
So much stronger. It's just, I think it's so difficult to get that shot wrong.
So that's side to side, and it's well, it's more about this shot as well, isn't it? How challenging this shot is, because what are your thoughts now? If you're about to play this shot, yeah.
So with that shot, you're trying to get the white ball just slightly above the black. So if you imagine a line straight across the table there,
Yeah.
the white is as it is there, just in front of black. It's very difficult now for you to play a telling safety shot.
Yeah.
You can take the double on, or you just try and nudge the black onto this cushion, but you're giving away the advantage.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
full spot now.
it's got to be the double then, isn't it? Let's see. Or the triple. Or safe.
Yeah, that's one way of getting it safe. Just try and do the same thing again here. Try and put the white ball just above the black.
Okay.
Give you another double.
Yeah.
Oh, quite slightly thick.
So,
For me, that's a bad shot.
really?
Because now you can actually send the black to that cushion if you wanted to, and then get the white up here. But
Well, I think we know I'm all about the
all about the doubles.
Yeah. Oh!
Dennis Taylor. Cheers, Graham.
Cheers, mate.
Well, that has to be one of the jammiest finishes we've ever seen on the black ball finish. But have a look at this. This is what a man of real class and talent can do. Get in there. Chris can continue the celebrations with Calvin Candy there up on the wall before a quick brush of the tables, pop the covers on, and it's time to say goodbye to Bar 8. And thank you very much to Chris Wakelin.